Sick. It's pretty sick.
Hey, ahoy, me hearties. That's what Gordy just said in the Rokfin chat. I feel like that's a great greeting. Ahoy, and welcome to Vibrant, episode 14, with the false reality check, fiery power couple, Buffaleggos. Kind of irked, though, that you didn't make your sign-in name on StreamYard Buffaleggos. So, since I named you that and all.
That is true.
Can we change that now?
Can we change it right now?
You got to back out and come back in.
Oh,
so
man.
please do. Hey, so what's up, y'all?
Nothing much.
Yeah.
How are you?
Living life, man.
Stoked to have you on one of my shows finally for the first time. It's like at the point where I get excited about somebody and want to have them on, then I have to wait like 2 months sometimes. Just scheduling.
You're a busy man. Yeah. You're a busy man.
Yeah, this has been a few months in the making for sure, huh?
Yep, since you had me on False Reality Check, which is a really fun conversation. But since it's your first time on the channel, and there may be some people that are new to you too, why don't you talk about your show and why you're Buffalo and legs, and maybe give us your sun signs. Let's find out more about y'all.
Oh man. Do you want to take it away?
Yeah, sure. So we're False Reality Check. I'm Buffalo and she's Legs. Obviously those aren't our names, but those are the names we choose to have. And we just host a show about us escaping California. We're actually in Idaho now. We're in the promised land, and we're just trying to become more self-sufficient and get to know really cool people like Chance and Lindsay and, you know, the spiders, and just having good conversations, because that's how we learn. That's the best way we learn. So
yeah, we felt that authenticity was lacking in today's society, and we wanted to come out, be ourselves, maybe inspire others to live the life they truly deserve. And that's what we're doing right now. We're striving to find what we want in life, and
filled with intention and purpose.
Yeah, and I named him Buffalo because, well, Buffalo Rambler, because when he's on mushrooms and we're out in nature, dude rambles.
I don't shut the hell up.
He just rambles. So, and it's hilarious. And he loves Buffalo, so I was just like, oh, Buffalo Rambler, that's your name, you know?
Yeah.
And then Legs, you gave me that name
because she was hiking in shorts, and I was like, "Hey, Legs, that's it." So she's got nice gams. So what can I say?
There you go. What can you say?
Yeah.
If I bring us down, I put the Buffaleggos in the I was trying to show the actual
I was like, what's going on?
Channel art I made, and I took everyone away. But there's a buffalo, but it's an Asian or an African buffalo. Turns out bison and buffalo aren't the same thing, I learned.
No.
And then there's the legs emoji. Just like on your t-shirt, you guys have a cool merch store going now. But we didn't catch your sun signs. I happen to know you're both fire signs, which means we got a fire triplicity here, right?
Yes. Sagittarius.
I'm Aries. Yeah.
Sagittarius is coming. December's coming. Are we already there?
Yep. This is the first vibrant in the sign of Sag. And
oh my God.
Because Sagittarius is IC, I wanted to ask you both if there's anything that you see more clearly about life or yourself since you made your big move.
Oh, wow. Let's see. My third eye has opened up immensely. I feel like my connection, my meditations have gotten more intense since we've gotten out of the city environment, out of our corporate jobs. I feel like I'm able to really focus on my spirituality and becoming, I don't know, just light, you know, the light being that I'm supposed to be. And I'm learning for myself that I need to slow it down. It's a very slow pace out here.
Legs want to move quick.
I do. I want to work, you know? So I'm just getting into that groove of slowing down, patience, you know. I'm learning a lot from that.
Yeah. I think patience for me, that's the thing. Cause we were so used to like go, go, go. I mean, we lived in Orange County. It's, you know, right next to LA County, and you know how Southern California is. It's just constant traffic, constant honking. It's all over the place, and it's really toxic. And to come out here, 3 cars go down the road, that's a traffic jam. Like, that's like too many people. And it's crazy. We live in a place that's like it's probably like 0.0000001% of like the population where we came from. So, and everybody is just super nice. Everybody will give their shirt off their back to help you and clothe you if you need it, you know? And it's just, it's a much tighter sense of community because people really need each other out here. So I think we needed that. And I think patience with people and just kind of understanding them, it's going to help us out quite a bit. That's what I need to learn for sure.
Yeah.
Well, dude, that's Aries. Like the whole life lesson is hold up. You don't have to jump right into the next thing before this thing's done, right? Like I feel you. That's my life. I'm a kid just constantly on to the next thing that's exciting, the initiator. And that's totally cool. That's a good role to play in the Zodiac zoo. But the pace thing that you were talking about, I totally have been getting into that too. Like less happens in a day, but the things that I do well. And I'm not thinking about what the next thing is as much. Like I haven't cured that in myself where I don't think about the next thing till I'm doing it. Like that would be really amazing if I could be so beyond caring about time that it's just like, okay, now I'm doing this and then I'm doing that, but I'm not sketching out the entire day in my mind. Cause that's where we trip ourselves up and get like into the, I don't have time. It's been a key thing to realize lately is that if you want to have time, you have to take time instead of feeling like you never have it.
Hell yeah.
So it's all a mental game. Time is perceptual. I'm sure Buffalo probably rambled about that while on mushrooms one time.
I think I did, actually. Yeah, that sounds like something I'd say, probably.
No, yeah, you're so right though. It's I like you said, I've been so used to go, and we have our days planned out, you know. Oh, I gotta submit this report, oh, I gotta do this. But it was always for someone else. And the time that I had for myself and for you and for Izzy, it was less in the day. And
Izzy's
now
the dog, super great dog.
Yes. Izzy's our pup. Yeah, and now I can do the things I want to do, but at the same time I feel like a lazy piece of crap because I'm so used to that corporate mentality still. I gotta shake it, you know? And day by day it's fading away slowly.
Yeah. We do things for ourselves, and I feel like we're taught in life to not take that as seriously as doing things for someone else when you get paid. And we really need to switch that around, because if we did more things for ourselves, more people would be growing their own food, depending on their neighbors for help rather than, you know, seeking like Big Daddy, you know, government wants to come and help you. It's never going to happen. Like, just, we have to depend on each other. And that's the whole thing.
And on yourself first, though, is what you made clear there, which is super clutch. You have this tagline on your website, Awaken Slaves or whatever. And well, the entire thing that the culture is pushing us towards and seems to have been for a while, and it's like the master plan is all lockstepping into place, is that we all become each other's slaves. And then everybody is taking turns playing master and slave with each other. Like you're the slave when you're at your job, but then when you go out to the restaurant, you can treat the server like they're your slave. And we're all doing it for something fake that the currency we're using isn't even money. It's debt. So there's like, it's just like a double whammy, double reverse. It's pretty hardcore. But if we were all, even in a system where the currency was debt, if we were all taking care of ourselves first and foremost, nobody would need slaves. You know, I'll just be taken care of. You'd be doing your thing. And yeah, of course, relying on each other, but it's a lot easier. It's a lot more harmonious to have reliance on someone who's self-reliant.
Yes.
You know, like otherwise you're just sort of delegating it downstream, which Aries hates to delegate, but it is super important for the initiator if they want to go start something else. I want to say hi to the people in the chat. On Rokfin, we got Kabir, Gordy, Mooney, Juliana, and Truthzilla podcast. What's up? Fellow Rokfin creator.
What's up?
Nice.
And on
man.
YouTube
Love those
side,
guys.
Stella Moon, Slick Dissident, Jenny B. And if there's more of you out there, sound off. We'd love to hear from you. And of course, as always, there's a Vibrant call-in line on Telegram that should be near the top of the live chat. And I linked it in there. If you haven't joined the Vibrant call-in, maybe you ought to, because it's a great place to leave us a voicemail or pop a meme in there or ask a question to the people on the stage. Oh, we got more people signing off in the chat. Rachel, what's up? Laura K, what up? Good to see all of you. And yeah, that's it for questions. I'm done. I already asked all my questions to you guys. What are you thinking about? Oh, wait. You know what it is? The other thing I wanted to bring up was a congratulations to the fact that you sold your house, that you're signing on the papers. Maybe I'm spilling the beans before it's like okay to do that, but you were just saying that things are moving, and you like, I love to hear that things are moving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got 3 offers, and we decided to go with a couple who is married like us to maybe cherish that house and make it theirs. And it kind of worked out because before we left, we did a little ceremony in our house, thanking it for sheltering us and appreciating it and cleansing the house. And then what we did was we asked that someone come in here and love it the way we did. And because it's our first home, we saved and we bought it together, and we bought it before we even got married. And
Yeah.
we just we wanted somebody to enjoy it the way we did because we had a lot of great times there.
Yeah, and it turns out these folks are like they grew up in the city. We're from La Habra. They grew up in that city, so they're trying to get back to their roots, and it just seemed perfect.
Yeah,
bring them back to where they wanted to go, and it was bittersweet. It was our first home, and we had a lot of great memories there, and it finally hit hard when the offer came through and that contract came through, and it was just like, all right, we got to sign it. And I'm just like, now we really don't have a home. It's we're squatting right now.
The Buffalo's home is wherever it roams, and it
Sure,
roams on legs. So
that is true. That is
legs
true.
are always going places.
I should rephrase that. I do have a home. We have a home. My home is him, Izzy. As long as we're together, that's where home is for sure. But yeah, I'm gonna miss that house. It was despite where it was located, it was a good time, and it was our first house.
For sure.
Yeah. But good news, it's gonna be off of the market soon, hopefully. I think they have like 17 days until I guess they can back out 17 days. And once 17 days passes, it's sealed and we're good to go. So
Yeah.
Well, everybody out there, burn your candles and send your intentions that it goes to this family and that it all goes smoothly. I mean, I think it will. Have you noticed any of the maxim being true that whenever you take the leap of faith to do the right thing, then unseen forces come to your aid?
Yeah.
I think so. We definitely saw and had a lot of synchronicities come through when we got here. And having those moments and just reminders of where you're supposed to be, it does help. Do you want to share?
Yeah.
Some of them?
Yeah, I mean, like we got here, and just like when we dropped off the U-Haul guy, he told me, oh, you know what you should do? And he like suggested a couple different businesses, and I was already looking at starting something that the community here really needs because there's a lack of business. And so the 2 that he suggested was literally the same 2 that a family friend who came over the previous night had suggested. So we're looking into both of them just to see what we can do. But all the people that we know that like know our parents or met our parents, we went to go pick up some raw milk to make some butter and to also just to drink raw milk because it's really good for you. And the lady that we met, her husband's like the UPS driver, and apparently he already met my parents because they had come into town to start getting this place ready. And they went out and gave him like a cold water because it was a really hot day, and they had a chat with him. I gave him the address, and he's like, oh yeah, I think I met your parents. Your mom's not like, she has an accent, right? And then your dad is from here or something. And right away it was like everybody just knows each other. and then that gave us the source for milk, and now we get eggs from her, and we get cheese,
yeah.
all kinds of interesting goodies before we make it for ourselves.
Yeah, and his wife is actually from the same area that we left from, that we moved from.
Yeah.
So small world for sure. And there's a gentleman here that's going to be opening up a donut shop / art gallery. That should be interesting.
I don't know how that's gonna work.
But his wife, we met up with them when we were walking Izzy, and his wife is from the same town that we grew up in.
It's
It's
and
crazy.
she went to like one of the local high schools, like the competitor to the school that she went to. It was just kind of crazy.
Yeah. And the wildlife has been popping off. I've been seeing raptors like crazy. I saw a golden eagle yesterday, which was freaking rad, and then a bald eagle the other day. And we saw some falcon today. I wasn't sure.
We're talking about birds. Gordy's going to want to call in.
Oh.
See my owl shirt, bro? I was thinking of you.
But yeah, it has been popping off in terms of, yeah, we need to be here. We should be here. Despite current living situation, everything else has been going smoothly for sure.
Pretty amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, so the temporary home maybe not as cozy as the Holiday Inn or whatever.
For sure.
Yeah. I don't want to like shit on anything.
It's really,
we have a roof over our head.
yes,
We're thankful for
and
that.
we have food, and it's just very snug. When we're used to like having a place where we literally each had bathrooms we could use, because we were the only ones in our house. Now we're sharing a house pretty much the same size, less bathrooms, with 4 people. So it's a little cramped, but
Just getting your stoicism on.
yeah, that's all you can do.
Demonstrating to yourself that you don't need anything other than the love of life and just love in general for it to be a good life, right?
For
No,
sure.
100. Yeah, no, that's what I've been focusing on as of late, just the love that we have and the positive outcomes that have happened so far, and it's all going to work out for sure. Patience is key. And I've been, like I said earlier, we've been trying to be patient with the living situation. And one of my totem animals is the ant, and that teaches patience. So that came up. Constant reminders of just things will happen when they need to. And they will.
Yeah. And it's a little hard to be upset when you can like look out your window and see like 20 deer.
Yeah.
Like deer they're like big puppies. You can't really get mad at them.
Awesome. We have a lot of them here too. Like in the woods near my house, whenever I'm going on walks through the paths there, you'll see so many of them. And it's like they know that humans can't hunt in this spot, so they're just extremely bold.
Same here. Yeah, they just like walk around. They'll stop traffic here, just like straight up. Not that there's traffic, but when there is, like
When there's
truck,
more
they
than
just
2
stop.
cars on the road at once.
Exactly.
But yeah, the raw milk has been fired.
Oof.
I'm calling the police. Last I checked, you should be put in a cage for that, right? Or the guy who sold it to you.
No, it's not illegal here.
Oh,
I don't
nice.
think so. I don't think so. I don't know.
Wow. The empire hasn't stretched its iron-clad grip that far.
No, the legislatures and like town, I don't know, you call them councils, I guess. They're all
Yeah.
part-time. Like they only work part-time because everybody has farms and ranches and they have things to do. So it's like government's only around part-time, really. It's pretty great.
That seems so much healthier because a lot of what gets pushed that should have never happened, it happens because it's go, go, go. It's got to be now. We have to vote on it. And, it doesn't matter if not everyone's even present to think about it or had time to find out about it.
Yeah.
That's how they scammed everybody with Cootie's World. It was always just like a super rush to like make this next thing. And here's the deadline before that's going to happen. And then right when the deadline comes, they actually just cancel it because it was never lawful in the first place, but they were hoodwinking people into complying before the supposed law to comply. It's wild. Okay, so I'm going to continue with Sagittarius themed questions. So 14, which is the number of this episode, is the Temperance card, and it's ruled by Sagittarius and by Jupiter and Neptune. And actually, in some versions of it, there's a lion on one side and eagle on one side. There's the raptor again. But and those representing the fire and water side. But I was wondering for you guys, I mean, you don't have to get personal maybe and tell me what all your vices are, but you know, what does temperance mean to you? Does it have to do with maybe temperance between the real world and the false reality on the screens, or temperance between, like, you know, too many mushrooms for Buffalo?
I don't think you can have too many of those. I think you're supposed to find out what too many
You'll
is.
think you had too many, but you'll be all right.
No, I think, yeah, temperance is just, it has to me, it has to do with patience. Is that patience coming back around? But it's also moderation and trying to not do too much of one thing, not get stuck in too much of the same thing over and over again. Because we can get these patterns and we get locked in where we just keep going, and it creates this kinetic energy that we just can't stop. And then you never know, you're going to be like, you know, 50, 60 years old doing the same thing every single day. It's probably not good for you. Like, you need to vary it up a bit. You have to change. You have to add change and adversity in order to grow. Because that's the only way, you know, you're bringing out the guns, Chance. I see the muscles grow. How do muscles grow? You got to rip them up, right? That's how it works.
Yeah, you lift heavy shit.
Exactly.
No, I agree. Yeah, temperance is the patience thing. Oh man, I lost my train of thought. I'm so sorry. I lost my train of thought. Maybe it'll come back to me. I was concentrating.
Come back around.
I was concentrating on the guns. I'm sorry.
See, I called it out.
We all just, you know, grass is greener on the other side. You got legs, you got guns, whatever. Hey, so Tommy Tickle says hello to Chance, Buffalo, and Legs on Rokfin. What's up, Tommy? And hey, Beezus and Davin over there. Just like to say hi to my people. Melissa T. Calic over on YouTube. And thanks everyone for joining us early tonight. It's Thanksgiving special, maybe. Maybe that's why we did it early. Maybe it's because there's something up that Legs is going to leave for. We'll talk about that. Just got to leave early. But you know what I want to do now? I want to play this 30-second clip that came back across my screen today because I feel like it's appropriate to false reality check. And so let's just watch this clip and see what it makes us think about.
Yeah.
It's cool to get on the computer, but don't let the computer get on you. It's cool. It's cool to use the computer. Don't let the computer use you. You all saw The Matrix. There's a war going on. The battlefield's in the mind. And the prize is the soul. So
there it is. The royalty himself.
Oh man,
they killed that guy.
Oh, for sure.
That's what I think.
Oh, I think so too. I mean, all you need is the evidence that Rick and Morty made a joke about the scientist formerly known as Rick or something dying in an elevator like a week or two before Prince died in an elevator.
Oh man.
And then I was no longer cool with Rick and Morty. I liked it up until that point. Then I was like, yo, Prince was cool. Why is that? I don't know. But let's talk about that. The war, the mind war. Actually, speaking of psychedelics, it was on psychedelics that I first recognized that was going on, that there was another space beyond the reality that we normally perceive, and it's the mind. And that the mind that you have and the mind that I have is actually the same mind.
Yeah.
But that we're these little receivers of mind, and we think that it's our mind and it's coming from us, and it is, but it's really like also it's the I am, and that sense of I amness before any identity that would be called ego. Not the ego is like the enemy, but that mind is actually one thing, and it is there is some kind of war going on. And the question is,
Yeah.
is the mind at war with itself, or has it been engineered to be at war with itself and it's at war with some other force? These are the questions. I was at a Bass Nectar concert when I realized this, and then it wasn't
Oh my
long
God.
after that I found out the Bass Nectar was part of the mind war. He was total alphabet soup intelligence agency op. He was a front man for it. Bass Nectar was a collective. But yeah, let's talk about this. I know that this is a huge point around false reality check, and you've probably learned some things since you've been doing that podcast to even further your understanding about the mind and the war and artificial reality, capital R reality.
Yeah, for sure. It's you got to find the balance. I mean, technology is great because we're able to do this. We're able to connect people across different states, different countries, have these conversations, but at the same time, don't let it consume you. Man, we were, I don't want to say locked into the matrix and escape the matrix, because it's like, you know, there could be a whole inversion with that word. But in our old lives, for me, I was so hooked into like Twitter and Instagram, and I had to post like what I was doing all the time, and just to try and keep up with friends. And it's when you get sucked into that, you're trying to fit this mold that's not even what you are, who you are. And after mushrooms hit, I had that realization that I'm not the person that I thought I was. I'm someone different. I'm mostly keeping up with the Joneses type mentality with my friends, who I don't really have many. They kind of like backed away ever since.
Oh, we're all friends here.
You went crazy. No, like
all my friends
like,
are on screens too. It's okay.
Yeah. I'm thankful for this soul tribe and just this community that we've been able to be a part of. But yeah, it's a delicate balance for sure. And yeah, what do you have to say, Buffalo?
Yeah, I think the whole thing is, I don't know if it's like the mind is battling itself, but I think that they want us to think that because they create like the duality, when really, if you look to truth, which to me, truth is in nature. You can see it in nature because nature doesn't lie. You can see that it's not a duality. It's like a combination. It's direction. It's impermanence and it's permanence at the same time. You know, the leaves die, but the rocks stay, and even the rocks can rot away with the right amount of water. There's your element right there. It's all kind of connected. And the battle with the mind, to me, I totally get what you say, and I agree with, like, it's like a receiver, because in a way, yes, I think we're all just kind of receiving the mind that actually, the one mind that exists, but we are little pieces of that, experiencing things. And then from these experiences, we develop a little bit of an ego, and we kind of, we get attached to things. And I think my whole journey here is just to figure out how to kind of detach while attaching to the right things. And for much of my earlier life, like Lake said, I didn't really control my mind. I didn't really think too much. And I forgot who I think I was talking to one of our listeners. I sent an email to, and I let him know that before mushrooms, like, I didn't know how much of an asshole I was. And
man, I know.
Made me learn that I was an asshole.
At least now I know.
Exactly. I'm like, oh man, totally avoided that, going down that road too long. I hope. Yeah,
you could say that as the receivers, we're also sensory apparatus for that mind. So the filters that we have that make us unique also inform the one mind, or the big self, what it is, or what's going on right now, where the energy's at, where we're at on the wave. So it really helps out God a lot more for us to pay attention to the present moment and where we really are, rather than just be wrapped up in our own mental programs and fallacies and artificial realities and poisonous worldviews. Because, like, what use are you as Earth rover, like a Mars rover, like an Earth rover, or the divine, what use are you if you're not actually like scanning?
Mm.
What are you doing? You're just poisoning it. You just like it's a bug. It's virused.
Yeah.
It's a virus in the collective consciousness in the God mind. So yeah,
Yeah.
I like what you say.
Yeah, when you hit that flow state, when you're with the right person, like we get so in sync to where I guess we can read each other's thoughts. You know, he'll know what I'm thinking or what I'm feeling, and I'll know just the look on his face. You know, I'll know exactly what he's feeling, and we're all connected. And when you clear up your conscious and you're present, be thankful. Every day I wake up and I'm just thankful. Great Spirit, God, your allies, I just thank them for another day, another moment to be light and love. And when you're just living in that in abundance, it just works. Life becomes magical.
Yeah.
For sure. Much more
It's almost
magical.
like you think that people think I don't even have a reason to pray unless there's something to ask for. But the way that the more I've been doing it every day, it just feels more right to just be like, thank you for all that already is there that I've got. And if there's anything that I feel lacking, instead of phrasing it like, give me this, I just thank for the fact that I am that. I already am, even if I was feeling a lack. So, or that it already is. Affirming rather than requesting.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it kind of that kind of reminds me of that. Have you ever heard that George Carlin thing where he talks about praying? Have you ever heard that?
Probably, but like, rehash it for us.
Should have sent that to the Telegram so you can put it up. But what he basically says is like praying is useless because there's God's plan, right? God has a plan. So why pray for anything? Like, what's the point of having God's plan if any schmuck with a $2 prayer book can change God's plan? Doesn't make any sense. What if what you want isn't in his plan? Is he going to change his plan for you? Then what's the point of being God? Like it's not going to work. So he's like, don't pray. Like, it doesn't make any sense. But I believe like what you said, we should just affirm because we already are. We have what we need. We are what we need. And all the answers are within. And just to kind of track back, we were talking about that battle within. That battle is within. And you have to kind of overcome yourself to be a better person every day and make like an eternal progression happen and ascend to, your higher self or a higher level of consciousness. And that battle always happens in your mind.
Oh, yeah.
Constantly.
Yeah.
And they want to put you in different traps to distract you from that battle. But the actual core of your life is that one battle. And if you can win yourself, you won the game. That's how it works.
Yeah, it's like free will isn't about changing the plan. It's about learning to flow with the plan.
Yeah.
And it's also no plan. Like you don't need a plan anymore other than to intend to do what brings wholeness and balance in that moment. Temperance is about that.
Yeah.
Always balancing the elements. And so what it is that we do with the real free will, it's not that you have pure predestination or pure free will. It's like this amazing paradoxical blend of both, where the free will is about how much do you want to like get with reality versus do you want to obsolete yourself with stagnation and then through that find out the hard way that there's no such thing as stasis.
Yeah.
It's just either you're growing or you're decaying. So then you decay and you're no longer a useful platform for big mind. And it's just like, all right, we're going to delete this one. Not that you can't come back and like, it's all the same energy. It's all life force energy is what you are that you carry in your vessel. But yeah, it's a really fun conversation. I think people are liking that. Prince lyric from Rachel, sacred is the prayer that asks for nothing.
Damn, I love that.
Really great. And yeah, it's all about seeing what you are. And how can you, if what we're talking about is this mind or this life force energy that is the same for all of us, how can you give anything to that or take anything away from it? It's already all of it. I'm going to catch up on some of the stuff in Telegram.
For sure.
From Jenny B, from her cool animal deck, Ant Spirit. Time to collaborate.
Yes.
I was thinking of that too when you brought up Ant because you guys are building together and that's so cool. And then Gabriel posted this gematria breakdown of Utah because he thought that's where you were, and he was like, 4 teams, look at it. And I was like, no, actually they went to Idaho. And then he was like, okay, Idaho's got 28s in there, and so it's like there's a 14 for each of you. That's pretty cool.
Dang.
28's been a number that occurs throughout my life. Like whenever when they number you, like when you're a kid and they give you like little ID numbers in school, 28, like it's always ended in 28, or I've been like the 28th student in every class. So weird.
Interesting. 28 is a major number. That's how many phalanges you got. It's a whole moon cycle. There's a lot to it. But hey, check out how relevant Jen's Buffalo spirit card is to what we were just talking about with prayer.
Abundant universe will provide. Wow.
Bang on.
Oh,
And we got a call in voicemail from Gordy, so I want to play that too.
All right.
Find it. Gordy, let's hear it.
I just wanted to jump in and say congratulations and pre-congratulations to what's going to happen with the house. And also, I want to just give everybody out there my gratitude for this community. Being able to bounce shit off of people keeps me sane, because this is the most insane. What the fuck do we do, guys? Love turning against each other like crazy, and we're watching it fall apart. It's very scary, but we got truth behind us. Hold strong. You guys are doing it, and I'm proud of you guys. Every single fucking one of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gordy. Preach, Gordy.
Oh, Gordy, love
man,
you.
I love Gordy. He's so awesome.
So he's coming to a false reality check episode near us, right?
Mm-hmm.
He is. I forgot. I don't know what
previews about it.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was a fun conversation. Of course, birds were involved.
Mm-hmm.
Spoiler alert. But no, we just talked a little bit about everything. Just
And culinary alchemy.
yeah, it was just a fun conversation. No like set agenda, it was just we just talked whatever came to mind. It was good flow. He shared some synchronicities in his life, a little bit about himself. We really wanted to get to know him more. And we didn't dive as deep apparently as we could have. So next time he comes on, we'll go deeper.
For sure.
Apparently he was holding back on us for the sake of our listeners.
That's pretty clever strategy, Gordy, to get yourself a second episode with him. I want to come back too.
He's a smart man. You can come back anytime, Chance. Anytime you want.
Okay,
You're
we'll
always
do that.
Yeah,
There's always more to talk about.
We're setting up our calendar and like booking dates with people, and I believe Rachel's coming on next.
Really?
Yeah.
That's gonna be fun.
Cool.
Shout out to Rachel.
It's just amazing how, thanks to being connected on Telegram, we're all just really collaborating and creating. It's like an organic podcast network without an official website.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so true.
It feels so much more real than, not that I have anything negative to say about any particular podcast network, but when, the point is to just conglomerate a bunch of shows under one website, a lot of times there's not a lot of like natural magnetism between the shows. You're just there for the show that you care about or whatever, but we're like cross-pollinating our people constantly and all rising together, and it's very, very cool. It's the guild wars right now for sure.
Yeah, and I'm thankful we're in this guild because this is the only guild I want to be a part of. The fear-mongering guild, I'm over it. It's time to get together and get solutions and work together as a community, because we can. The system's broken. Let's not try to fix it. Let's just create our own.
Yeah, there's going to be a new world order anyways. Let's make it ours.
See, that's how I feel too. It's like, is it the great reset or the great work? Which one are you going to do?
Great
Yeah,
work.
we get to choose that.
And
Hey, so how long you got, Legs?
let's see. I got to get out of here in like 18 minutes probably.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So let's just call it 15, just to be safe.
For sure.
Do you guys want a quick little like divination about your process of moving and finding the house?
Sure.
Let's do it.
Let's do
It
it.
just
Please.
felt fun if you guys are into it.
Yeah.
Totally.
Okay. All right, we're gonna start with Buffalo because he's the first on the sky card. All right, this is very Buffalo. The
Ooh,
Wanderer.
Oh man.
nice.
It's about traveling, adventure, movement, super Aries, pilgrimage, broadening her horizons. And also it has this concept of aloneness, but I always like to point out that alone is the same as all one.
Mm.
And so that's the mind thing we're talking about, recognizing that you're always part of this larger thing. So the energy here is the fire, passionate, clinging fire energy, elementally supported by the stillness, the mountain energy. So that's kind of like you guys moved out to some mountains, I think, or there's mountains nearby, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
yeah,
can walk to them.
We're pretty high elevation compared to where we were. So yeah, we're on a
Yeah. So
mountain.
this card is just affirming that, you know, there's going to be more movement and adventure in life. That's going to be part of what it is. And then the I Ching card for legs.
I was pulling my own card right now.
You did too? Okay, let's all do it. All right, revolution. So like these are both for
Whoa.
both of you because you're working together closely, but this is literally the card of the great work. That's why there's a phoenix rising from the multiple faces of all the people that are
Wow.
actually this one spirit or this one mind. It's emerging out of our tribe because we're all getting in harmony with that spirit. So it actually has a way to manifest on the dimension instead of just like sputtering and barely coming through just a few people at a time individually. So
It's beautiful.
you guys are both you're both embodying the wanderer, but also this quantum leap, giving up the old to make way for the new. And the elements here is the lake or joyous, so the pink, supported by the clinging of fire. So the joyous or the lake is about multiple possibilities, is about the multiplicity of life's expressions. So this is definitely a card that would suggest that it would be good for you to put your passions in more than one place. Like it fits with the wanderer in that sense because the wanderer is about broadening horizons and revolution is about embracing infinite possibilities. That's what makes it quantum. That it doesn't have to happen one way for you. It's all going to come through every aspect of your life. Like the goods, I mean, like the passion.
That's
And
awesome.
every part of your life can be passionate, not just one part.
For sure. Yeah, I pulled Prairie Dog.
Oh, you got the same deck as me.
I did.
Yeah, you got a nice new copy. Mine's all banged up and ancient.
I know.
That's
I had to get it. I loved the deck, and I felt like it was a good start for me to choose this Oracle deck. So I'm happy with it so far.
Yeah, tell people what the deck is out there that might be interested in, like, you know, talk about your connection to it. That's a really, really cool deck.
Yeah, so
Oh, and Prairie Dog's Retreat, by the way, which is definitely like where
Yes.
you're at right now. You're in the hidey hole, planning your next tunnel.
pretty much, yeah, it's pretty accurate. The cards don't lie, as you say. So it's the medicine cards. I actually got this off of the website for that the author has. So he was able to send the cards, got the book with it, you know. He even signed it for me, which is pretty cool. But yeah, for myself, I feel, and I've said this before, I have a really strong connection to nature, to wildlife, and they seem to just find me whenever I'm down, whenever I need a refresher as to what's important, you know. So I was like contemplating what kind of deck should I get. I knew it had to be something animal related. And ever since I caught eye of your like your first oracle reading that you did, and you would do it on Telegram, way back when, and you pulled these like beautiful cards, and I loved the artwork and just the stories behind them, and I felt like I had to do it. If it feels right, go for it, and that's how I've been living life so far, and it's been working.
Yeah, you said that those oracle reads felt like they were for you. That cracked me up.
It was trippy, man. Like
We're all going through. It's because it's sky clock stuff. Like we're all in the actual flow of the real life force energy. So the thing applies to all of us together.
it really does. Yeah. And then Buffalo got a really complicated deck.
Yeah, I have a lot of reading to do. I haven't even shuffled it yet. I got the Heindel deck.
Oh yeah, that's the
And
one Lindsay uses.
yeah, it's just so awesome because it kind of goes through different spiritualities. It has runes, it has Kabbalah, it has the I Ching, it has there's like Native American symbols in there, the zodiac symbols, and then if you like read the story behind Heindel creating this deck, he painted each thing separately at different times, but they all flow together, and he like channeled what each card wanted to be represented as. So it was pretty interesting. And you know, Lindsay was like, oh, this is supposed to be like the super complicated deck, but it's the one that I've always used. And I thought, well, if I'm going to go big, I might as well go home. So just go for the really hard one. So I'll figure it out. I'll get through it, but it's just a lot of reading.
Yeah, and it's still gonna have an atavistic like ancestor memory thing that activates in your intuitive side. It's a lifetime journey with any version of tarot. There's always more to know about the symbolism. If you think you've got it all figured out, probably don't. But I learned really well from Tessarion's Path of the Fool series for the major arcana, and then the minor, that's like a whole different thing. It's numerology. It's the actual imagery on the card that kind of matters depending on which deck you're using. Minor arcana feel a little more, well, there's like this weird blend between an actual esoteric system and oracle. And oracle cards to me are just the ones that you could have any 50 things on a deck of oracle cards or however many there would be, and it's just you're generating synchronicity by drawing from it in that moment. But then tarot has this whole lesson of the sky clock deeply embedded in it.
Yeah.
But I'm going to draw a tarot card for both you two. All right, so
whoa,
Buffalo, this is your happily ever after 10 of cups.
Oh man.
So this is, I guess, what you're wandering towards.
Yeah.
The homestead, it's the kids, it's you guys happy.
wow.
You got all of the treasure that you need, which is real wealth, real prosperity. The golden cups.
Fireplace on that house? Because that looks like a fireplace.
Yeah, can't you tell there's a chimney on the house? So clearly they got a fireplace, obviously.
Yeah.
That's what you envision.
Yeah, that is so accurate.
Yeah, you guys, that's the card that's saying like you're going to complete the journey of healing and the journey of love to the maximum. oh God. Okay, look at that, just drew off.
Oh my God.
And you do it by both keeping your cup full. Here's the Two of Cups. It's both of you. This is definitely temperance, but between an actual male and female living being instead of the angel. This is a temperance card, big time. So you keep the love to the max by both keeping your own cup of healing completely full at all times. So bam, like, oh, love the oracle cards.
Didn't you pull that like this week? For this
week, I
week,
did. That was part of the weekly read too.
Oh man.
Two of Cups was in there.
So
and so was Two of Wands. Yeah, I drew Two of Cups twice in a row, actually.
You did.
Twice in a row on the divination video from on Monday. Yeah, 2 days ago. So I guess it still applies.
What are you doing?
So much flow going on.
What are you doing to us, Chance?
It's the hot hands.
Good Lord.
We've all got it. I want to see what Buffalo's got out of his Heindel.
Oh my gosh.
I know. I need
just
to
put the cap on it.
I know.
Go for it.
I feel like I have to bless my deck or something, you know, like ever since I heard Lindsay's scary story about what really happened to her with her first deck, I was like, holy crap, I need to take this really seriously. And
all I do is I just take one of these and I go like that and I clear the deck. That's all you got to do.
Selenite.
Between different clients. Like when there's a new client, clear the deck in the beginning of the morning on the prayer altar. Pop, pop, pop.
It's a good idea. I
Nice.
mean, we have our piece of selenite. Maybe
Yeah.
we should use that.
Yeah, we should.
Use that.
Yeah, you
All
guys are fire type, fire type Pokemon. Use those wands. You're
I
extra
know.
good at them.
I found this one of the homework assignments for last week for Brighter You was finding various objects, manifesting various objects, an object to the north for the north, for the east, south, and west. And my object to the north that I ended up manifesting was this giant like staff. It could be like a wizard staff. Like I kind of want to dress it up and turn it into something good. It's in the other room. I should have kept it in here, but yeah, I was meditating and I asked my allies to help me understand what my object to the north will be. And I saw the image of a stick. And so I was like, okay, maybe it's going to be a stick. And we're on our walk. We're on our walk with Izzy, and it's just a beautiful day. Got the creek right by us. And I got this like feeling in my stomach that I had to pick up this certain stick. And it's pretty long. And I'm going to turn that thing into a staff for sure. Something.
Put a piece of selenite on top.
Yeah, I'm going to have to.
Yeah, craft something cool and then share it in our daily art practice group that you're in.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about art yet, but I want to say that the staff is a really clutch idea because you're going to be in a colder climate. The reason, I mean, there's more than one reason, but in my opinion, number one reason Gandalf has a staff is because it keeps you electrically grounded with the earth, even if you've got rubber-soled shoes. I mean, Gandalf's probably got leather shoes. He's probably not fucking around, but right. Like if you use a staff, it doesn't matter what type of shoes you've got on. It has that grounding effect. It earths you automatically.
Right on. I didn't even think of that. Yeah, I grounded earlier. It was like 30 degrees outside.
Yeah. Still frost on the ground.
Just do your fire breathing. Fine. I was
Did
fine.
you melt the snow around you?
Oh man, I need to try that. The snow like already melted. There was some on the ground this morning. But the sun comes out and it's just like, if it's not a heavy layer, it'll just melt right off. But yeah, I felt great. I love grounding in this cold weather. I didn't think I would adjust so quickly, but I'm digging it for sure.
She's a winter for sure. I keep telling her, I'm like, you're a winter person. I know you
I mean,
are.
she's a Sag. It is correspondent to winter.
My time is now.
It is like almost your birthday, or it just was, or something.
Birthdays come in December 13th, baby. 13.
So before you scamper off to Brighter You, why don't you tell us a little more about that? Give Lindsay's really cool new thing a shout out.
Yeah. So Brighter You is I'm doing the 6-week course. She's going to have various lengths for the course, but
is that through her normal website, Corey Sharman?
Yes, Corey Sharman. Link that. And right now we're doing the introductory course, and it just helps you grow in your spirituality. She's been teaching various meditation methods. We go deep during our class, so usually like a couple hours, and the group is small, so it's very intimate. We get to talk to each other about what we're feeling, how the meditations went for the week, our homework, and just growing in that group. It's been really awesome to see people transform, and myself also. And when I first started this thing, she warned us all, like, your third eye is going to be opening up a little bit more, so you might get headaches and, some weird stuff might happen to you. And I was just like, that's weird. That can't happen. And sure enough, like as I started meditating more and grounding and just get really into it, and yeah, I'd get headaches and, and all the weird stuff would be happening. But yeah, if you want to grow in your spirituality and you need, for me, I've always been a person that I need like guidance for certain things. And this has been a great opportunity for me to be guided by one of the best, Lindsay. She's awesome. And she's teaching me a thing or two about fire breathing and just energy in general, how we're all energy and coming into our own spirituality. It's a great course.
That sounds great. And did you do, yeah, you guys both did One Day of Brightness as well.
Mm-hmm.
We did.
Great.
We did it last time. I don't think we're signed up for this winter one, but yeah, that is also awesome too, if you can be a part of that.
Yeah, Chance, you healed us. So
Sure did.
Yeah.
Sure did. You healed my toe problems.
You healed my rib problem. That's pretty crazy.
Maybe if you guys talk about that, it would be really handy advertisement to anyone on the fence about getting sound healing with me, because I swear it does something, even though we're not in the same room. I swear it does.
Oh yeah, no, it definitely does. I have my doubts, no joke. Like I had heard about this before, I never tried it, but One Day of Brightness, we took it seriously. We put our yoga mats down, we laid on the floor, we put the computer kind of out of sight, but we could hear you, and we heard the tones. And it's weird. I suffer from I got a broken rib from a bicycle accident when I was in high school, and it never really fully heals. And sometimes when you laugh too much, and I love laughing, I'll snap it again. But I think I had snapped it a day or two before, because I was dealing with some pain, and it just, I don't know which tone it was that you hit, but it just vibrated. I felt it, and then it was gone. I didn't feel the pain anymore. And then you had a toe thing.
Yeah, it's legit. The vibration comes through whether you're in the same room or via virtual, which is what we were going through. And whether you hear it or not, it's still there. We're all connected. And we were able to benefit from that. I was having weird toe problems where my big toe was numb on my right foot for some reason. And I didn't want to get it checked out because of the whole, cooties thing. And so really, I didn't have an intention of, that thing will be healed. It just, you focused on that area. I remember you saying you were focusing on our feet and our legs, and it just came through. That numbness is gone, and I feel great again. But I also need to roll.
Yeah, you do.
I'm going to get in trouble. Chance, I appreciate you so much. And Vibrant and everyone who's been watching, love you guys. Love this community. Take care of Buffalo while I'm gone.
Don't be tardy to school. Is there
have some
room
fun
in your
with
little
him.
shack for both of you to do two things at once?
I'm going to go into the other room and sign on my phone. So
thanks for being here, Lex.
Yeah.
We'll do it again. Call in to any Vibrant that you ever feel like it.
For sure. Love you guys. Have fun.
See you later. Love you.
Maybe get my thing.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys obviously got a lot of love. I mean, to get 10 of cups and 2 of cups, give me a break. And you know what's fun about that is I drew it from the top of the deck and the bottom of the deck. So the entire story of the tarot was encompassed between those two realities. Pretty badass.
That was pretty dope. Yeah. I really, really need to get into my tarot, because just hearing Gabriel, we had Gabriel on the show. And so he's going to come on next, I think not the next episode, maybe an episode after that.
I was about to say, Gabriel, call in. I sent you the link, dude.
Oh man, he knows so much. And I know he's very humble. Gabriel's a super humble guy. And he's like, I haven't been doing it for that long. Well, buddy, you've got it. You've got it's coming from it. It's just emanating from it, So I get what he says, and I understand him. And I think you guys really pick up what the deck wants to be revealed, what actually wants to be said. And I enjoy that a lot for both of you.
Oh, we got to really thank you for saying that. And, just a channel with the intention to bring what's really there. And I don't think there's any wrong answers. That's why tarot or oracle or divination works, is because the wrong thing can't happen. It's God's plan. Whatever happened, that was God's plan, right?
For sure.
Or however you want to conceptualize it. But check it out. Gordy shared his staff over here.
Damn, that's really nice.
That real nice looking stick there, buddy. I'm hearing myself echo back. Is it possible that there's headphones near Legs' mic or something, or am I just crazy?
I muted her mic, so you shouldn't be hearing anything from her.
Maybe I should just not yell so loud.
I hear you just fine.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Also in the chat, Jenny B said she's making cookies while she's listening. Is that something that we're all going to have access to, the cookies? Because Snake Jones wants to know. I want to know what kind of cookies they are, and can I send you my address?
Oh man, have you ever had pumpkin chocolate cookies?
No, let's talk about that.
Ah, that was one of the benefits of, I hated my job. No joke. I really didn't like my job. I love the people though. And one of the benefits was people can make some amazing, wonderful cookies. And every Christmas we'd have pumpkin chocolate cookies. One of my bosses would make it. It'd be pretty dope. And I just miss that. I don't think I'll ever get it again. Not the same kind anyways, but I can always make it. Why
Yeah,
not?
dude, are you into the cooking arts, the culinary arts that you talked about with Gordy? Also, okay, we got to confirm in the chat that there's a small echo. So whatever it is that's playing my voice in your system is also picking up on the mic, I think, if I had to guess.
Do you hear me?
I hear you, yes.
Okay.
And
Yes,
it probably won't ruin anyone's life, but production hat chance wants it to be perfect. And then we're going to bring Gabriel in. Yeah, and you guys are like in a whole different place right now. It's not your normal setup where it's all crafted elaborately and perfectly.
Yeah, we have some soundproofing issues. So like the wall, like check out the walls. They are like paper thin, like literally they're wood paneling that's a quarter inch thin. And I don't know how much insulation is in here because it's pretty freaking cold, like even with the heater going. And we have the heater off right now, so it's okay. I got my jacket. We're all good.
All right, we're bringing Gabriel in.
What's
I'm not
up,
hearing the echo
gentlemen?
now.
Whoa, how you
I'm
doing?
going to make sure that Gabe didn't bring the echo. What up?
Much love, everybody.
You looking comfortable?
Yep. Chilling in the bed.
So what's been on your mind as we've been discussing the things that we've been talking about tonight?
I'm stoked to see the show from when I was on with you guys. That was so much fun.
Oh man, I loved it. We had
Yeah.
such a flowing conversation, Gabriel. You bring the heat, that's for sure.
Well, I definitely talk a lot. That's you're right.
We traded a Sag out for a Leo, so we're still triple fire here.
All right, nice, good call.
Fire tribe. I mean, I'm partial.
What's your sign, Chance?
Oh, I mean Aries, bro.
Yes.
We both are.
Yes.
I kind of
Virtual
want to set
dad.
like a poll up on YouTube, just like what's your sun sign? But more people are watching on Rokfin, so that wouldn't be so great. Rokfin, if you're listening, put the poll option in. I know you can do it. Make an update. Yeah. So also people out there, we'd love to see some more things thrown into our call-in line. I'm thinking I'm about to troll through Jim's meme bank. Have you heard of this, Gabriel?
Yeah, it's been great. I've been shooting them all over the place.
Yeah, Jim of Just Welcome has a meme bank now. This is one of the best ones since we're watching a live stream right now.
This is the dad joke I mentioned earlier. Chance totally picked it.
Oh, cool. I'm just gonna like randomly pull up memes then while we're hanging out. They don't have to have any, like, it can be totally non sequitur. Oh, okay, this one's really good.
It's got Jim in the middle.
Yeah. Just to shout out him. Oh, since we're talking about him, this is a really perfect time for me to bring up. Later tonight, he's doing, I think it's on his YouTube channel, Jim Maiden. So I'm going to dig it up and link it while you guys keep the ball rolling. But he's doing a thing called Flow State, which is where he's going to read something to us and we're all going to do art. Group art party. This is my jam. I'm so excited this is a thing. So I'd love to see more of you people in the live chat there to continue the community synergy.
That'll be good times.
What do you guys like to do for art?
You first, Buffalo. You first.
Oh man, I'm more of like a techie art person. I did go to like film and video production school. So editing like our podcast and editing different videos and things like that, that's kind of my jam. I got into photography for a while, but I sold all of it to get this podcast stuff. Um, but I think I had a decent eye for photography. And at one time wanted to be like a Rolling Stone photographer until I realized Rolling Stone's terrible. And then I decided, I'll go with the podcast because this seems like the new form of art. So it's like digital, it's a little mix, I like it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, it's either going to come through Telegram for Jem's flow state thing, or there will be a link to it in this Telegram group that I just posted. And if it seems like we talk about Telegram a lot and you're not on it, well, that's where we are all day. So it's the live chat that never ends.
Yep.
But to say something about what you're talking about, Buffalo, you can make the podcast and art for sure. I love to add flourish to the cover arts or make the outro graphics, things like that. But there's an art to conversation.
Yeah.
And that type of flow state is just as inspirational as seeing somebody painting if it's authentic.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. Yeah. I hate to reference like Joe Rogan, but that dude has a master at flow and bringing people in and letting them answer the way that they like to answer. And he gets like the more authenticity, the more authentic part of the person. Like he pulls it out of them. And I think that's just what I'm not trying to be like him, but I'm trying to get that flow going with our partner. Gabriel, who I think is a wonderful dance partner, we had that like capoeira flow going, and I think that was pretty dope. So it was awesome. Yeah, I look forward to releasing it because you guys are gonna love it.
Nice.
If I was gonna come back, I might come back to talk about placenta and aliens. I have a lot of fusion there. Like there's so much more after that show we did last week, Gabriel.
Yeah, man.
But let's talk about you. Like what is your creative outlet? I probably have asked you this before. Making videos right now?
Well, yeah, two things usually get me is I'm either in action or movement, exercise, capoeira, of course. Today it was raking leaves.
Nice.
And that's usually my first go-to. I'm a big endorphin junkie.
Yeah.
But then the other thing I'd really love is writing, which right now takes the form of poetry, but eventually I got.
Oh, dude, your poems are so good.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I got some books in me too. Someday I got to put those out because I got some really fun ideas.
I feel you there.
Yeah.
Your poems that I've heard, I would love to see more of that. Like Gabriel Telegram channel or something where things like that are just shared and archived.
Yeah.
Because
that's
they're
a good
like
idea.
an occult initiation in a poem. Every line you'd have like go look up what that is talking about if you're not aware and be like, whoa, okay, this is super meta.
Yeah, thank you, man. Yeah, and our sister Rachel put on a poetry jam this Sunday. Got on there and got to spit a little fire with the people. It was good times.
Really cool. Maybe I should share that group too. Hers is Sunforge, right?
You got it. Yep. And I think she's going to be doing it again in the future. I'm so stoked that she's going on FRC with you guys.
Oh man, we're super excited because she brings her room. It's so funny. I was debating between getting into tarot or learning the Elder Futhark, and she does runes. And I thought, what a perfect conversation we can have and compare the two methods. And I just want to learn, So, and I'm an empty vessel. Like fill me up. So I just want to take all the information in and then kind of just let it flow through.
Yeah.
Speaking of runes, there's a really interesting share today in the InnerVerse chat about a rune that corresponded with temperance, and it was the 14th rune. I don't know. Do you remember what the actual rune is called? It's Perth, right?
Perth.
And it's a cup. And it's
Yeah.
interesting because it actually refers to like luck and fellowship and initiation. It has a lot of similarities to the idea of the 14th major arcana of temperance. 14 is a cool number. But hey, check this out. This is a really perfect meme scavenge for tonight. Since it's got a buffalo in it. Boogaloo Side Quest 1973 successfully laced the National Guard's water buffaloes with LSD. Achievement unlocked. MK Ultra.
Oh man,
Perfect.
how much do you think that would accomplish a whole lot if we just like doused everybody with it?
No, I don't think that's a good move, personally.
No, it's not a good move, but I just like wonder if it would actually accomplish or just make everybody go crazy.
I mean, do you really want people that are super in fear to the point that they've got to be like order followers for Big Daddy to get the HUD overlay of the reality framework installed so that they can actually like, have instant manifestation between inner and outer? I feel like there's a reason why the less coherent your charge is, the weaker your manifestation power is, because all you're going to do is put distortion into the field and bring your own executioner. And it still happens. It just is slowed down because your light is weaker, so to speak. But this is the trick of any initiatory path, is to recognize that the further you go into balance and the temperance path, the more immediate the consequences of impurity are in your temple. Temple temperance sound very similar because it's all about the waters that you're balancing are your body temple. And that's the key.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. We're mostly water too as well. So that's why that all flows. Damn.
It's all programmed by our thoughts, behaviors, and actions for sure.
For sure.
Yeah, I was thinking about how temperance, I haven't read this anywhere, so it's unofficial. This is strictly my mind churning, but it's got that temp. It makes me think of not just temperature, but also time. In the, time flows, so there is that, and I can make this rabbit hole go real deep real fast, but in my Avengers territory stuff, there was a powerful correspondence with Donald Trump.
Yeah.
And if you move the R in the word temperance, you get Trump Pence. And this is some far out stuff. Like I did one video
and
a long
judgment
time back.
too. Like the idea of Judgment Day is supposed to be heralded with trumpets.
Oh.
Yes, that's it. Yes, you nailed it, Chance. That's it. That's part of That's part of the video I put together, was how Trump put in his notice that he was going to run in June, or no, excuse me, maybe May. It might have been in May, right on the cusp of that judgment card.
Yeah.
With the trumpets.
Yeah.
Blowing, like announcing that he's gonna fuck everything up. Well, come and fuck with everybody's life. And then something else happened. I think when he became officially, the only guy running for it was under the sign of temperance. And so in the Avengers tarot, that corresponds with the Civil War card. I'm sorry, with the Avengers episode that was about the Civil War between the Avengers teams.
Captain America 3.
You got it. Bingo. Yeah, you got the list. You got it memorized. Yeah, that's it. And technically, this gets kind of cool. I did not talk about this in my videos, but technically, that's when the archer, what's his name? Hawkeye.
Yeah, Hawkeye.
Hawkeye, he doesn't have a movie, But in that movie, his role is very significant. So you could kind of say that he represents Sagittarius,
Mm.
and we're talking about the Temperance card in the sign of Sagittarius, and he's the archer.
Mm.
So I could almost give him that slot, and it would translate
Yeah.
to a good degree.
This makes me think about, why would Hawkeye not get a movie, but they give one to Ant-Man? You know, so my thinking here, that's just coming spur of the moment, is that I have had an intuitive sense lately that Sagittarius has been compromised, like on the archetypal plane, where the sorcerers are actually directing their mind control more than at us as individuals.
Mm-hmm.
That Sagittarius has been a key target for people that carry that energy strongly for a variety of reasons, but mainly because it's the seer. Sagittarius sees far. And also, so first of all, you're like, you're leaving out the seer. That's an obvious thing. What, Gabriel, I know you have something about the word seer that you recently came up with in an anagram recently, which I want you to mention too. But
yep.
Also the archer, the arcus, is the same root word as both the boat, like the UFOs that are obscured and hidden. We don't get their story.
Yep.
The sky boats.
Yeah.
Ark, and then Archon, the hidden rulers.
Yeah.
So to hide the story of the archer, or not give us a story about the archer, and for all of the constant, like what I would call cul-de-sacs before the gold mine, or even just straight up synchromistic wild goose chases that are left out there for the seer, that I bet Alan could tell us all about this. Alan Marcus probably, but there's so many things that the one who sees far and sees connections can get tripped up by right now in the culture, that seem like they're just seated there to give people who do like to make connections and see things synchromistically a whole bunch of fodder to chew on, while actually never leading them to any kind of beneficial end. So like, I look at the big circuses like the Rittenhouse thing and like Astroworld, all of that stuff is just to be like, hey, look at this, hey, look at this, and never actually get to the root of where is this coming from? What beings are actually doing this? Where's the, how is the archetypal plane being influenced by all of this constant barrage of symbolism? So yeah, that's a lot there. So let's see what
that was awesome, Chance. That was fire.
Yeah. So Sagittarius, we see you, hang in there. We know it's tough. They're putting a lot out there to confuse. We need your connecting abilities for sure.
Yep. So I love that you put all that together. That just gave me so many epiphanies in one line, man. One little paragraph. So Hawkeye is the far seer.
Nice.
He's got the hawk eye. It totally makes sense.
Yeah.
And so the decode that you were talking about is an anagram for the words, the Great Reset. And while you were talking, I had a huge epiphany so the anagram for the Great Reset from before you said that was target the seer.
That's right. If you rearrange the letters of the Great Reset, you could spell target the seer.
Target the seer. But guess what? Now that you said that, Chance, I'm thinking it's the target seer. And what if they were talking about this month? What if it was a countdown? And now I got to say this real quick. So something really important is like, I want to give all the love and all the respect to these systems that we use, and a lot of people might get offended that we're attributing these sacred systems to these nefarious fuckers at the top. But I just want to be clear that we're taking that power back. And that's why we're talking about it. We're not giving them the power of it. We're just recognizing the language they use, and we're going to put them on blast so everybody can see these messages and these symbols. So I just want to make that clear that the tarot is holy, and that's what we're learning this sacred language. And next thing you know, we're decoding Klaus Schwab's big signal here. This is badass, Chance.
I don't think Klaus has got much actual clout personally. I've been finding out more about who pulls strings beyond that, and the Vanguard company. There's a name that most won't have heard of yet, but look into that. And what is a Vanguard? What's Vanguard mean? The advanced force of an army, possibly invaders. Yeah.
Kind of
But
like
hey, it
Oumuamua.
seemed like Buffalo. It seemed like that you were having some kind of mind explosion about the target seer and this time of year. Do you see anything happening in the next, I don't know, few weeks that could be really relevant to the best laid plans of mice and men?
I was vibing on the flipping of the terminology between the target seer, or what did you say, Gabriel? The
Target the seer.
target the seer, and then
But now I'm thinking the target seer.
Yeah, that's what I was vibing with, is that they'll use this, and that I feel like you were right. The target seer is really where it's at, because I feel like it all coincides with the messaging from these people, like the dark winter and all this kind of stuff. Is it that they are trying to just let us know, and we have to pick up on that vibe to protect ourselves, because a lot of people are just going to go with the program that they're getting out. So that's what I was vibing with, because I feel like we need to decode these kinds of messages, because they're not going to come out and say, hey, by the way, we're going to make everybody get a cowpoke, and cowpokes are going to kill you. Like nobody's going to say that. What they're going to do is they're going to do it this way, because this is the language they know. So we need to kind of deconstruct all that, break it down, and understand it. And since I'm a beginner at this, Chance, and I learn from what you guys have been doing, because like you've been doing it for incredibly long, and Gabriel, you're super humble. I know you said you haven't done it for that long, but I vibe with everything that you put out, because to me it's picking up on that frequency that message they're giving us, and so that's what I was vibing with, I guess. Yeah,
what I love about your work, Gabriel, is that it just is constantly opening up possibilities without a dogmatic answer of this is what it is. I will repeat it over and over, probably forever, that why we have to get out of true false Joachim Boaz is because if you're wrong about something in 50-50, you're completely wrong. And that's just not nature. Nature has wiggle room. So another possible way of rearranging those words is sear the target, as in burn the target. Thanks for that, Toth Mark. That's a good point. To sear,
great one.
Phonetically would be like to burn as well.
I love that. Dang. So another decode from if you drop the and you just do great reset, it is, well, it's street rage.
What?
And I deciphered that the week before the Astro world.
What?
And you made a good point about the targeting of the Aboriginals in Australia that's happening right now, because they're the seers, and that probably has to do with their placenta traditions. And the same goes for in New Zealand with the Maori people who have strong placenta traditions.
Yep. Yeah, man. That we put that out last week. I'm quite sure that so Dreamtime is a sacred technology that is passed within the tribal lineages, but it also is connected to the land. And so if anybody didn't catch that placenta clips apocalypse that we did, a lot of those traditions we were talking about are totally in play in Australia. And I feel like, if you think about it, I've said this before, that I think sovereignty wisdom seekers, we poked the bear. And I think we've cracked the code a little too much, and they're making a play for Australia, where this technology is still completely up and running. And also, I want to point out there is a Perth, Australia.
Yeah.
Really good point.
Yeah.
Nice, yeah.
I don't know geographically where that would be in Australia
It's
in terms of where like the heaviest problems are from the false masters. But dude, I think that you're onto something for sure. And I think there's a huge opportunity right now all around the world for one of the sacred roles of the divine feminine to be let's say reintegrated, which is midwifery and doulas. Like, that should be something that a very much larger percentage of people are involved with, instead of there being one centralized location that they do all of it all day, every day, like a damn assembly line. But yeah, they're doing medical concentration camps right now in Australia, and that also will straight up tell you, it's like, we're doing this, but there's only 2 confirmed cases right now. And you're just like, so, and another thing too about targeting the seer is all the fake, like everybody is a seer in that what we accept as reality is generally what we see. And I'll have to like see if I can dig it up, but there was just a video, or not a video, but a screenshot from Austria that was shared around Telegram. You're like, look at all these tens of thousands of people in Austria. And there was 2 spots of the picture circled where the exact same copy paste people were in the picture, as in, so this was a fake picture. And even that is bizarre. It's like a double reverse too, because couldn't you just put a picture of any large gathering of people and claim it was a protest in Austria, and 90% of people wouldn't know one way or another if it was the right country or if it was a recent thing? And so everything, talking about false reality check, question everything on the screen. No matter how much boogeyman they tell me is outside and how much tyranny, I still look outside and just like, birds are chirping. I get that I have it good here, but we gotta wonder. And so that's why I really value some of the people in our Telegram group that are like from Australia, and they can tell me for sure things are happening. I know one friend in Canada who had the police come recently to check if they were quarantining in place from having traveled. Like, so I know that the things are happening, but we also got to, I guess, just be aware that so much of what's on the screen is there to rile up a certain reaction, and screening is not seeing, no matter how convincing it is.
Yeah, Chance, do you think that a lot of this stuff, I know that some stuff is happening, especially like when you mentioned the dude from Canada where the police came and checked on them and all this stuff in Australia, but I feel like they're amplifying that messaging now because they're really losing this information more. Like they can't hold it in. Are you getting that sense too? Because I feel like there's so much white pill in my life right now. I can't look back anymore to doom and gloom.
Clear pill is what I'm calling it, as in no pill, no pharmacos. I'll let Gabriel reflect on where we're at right now, and I've got something cooking up.
Well, I guess one thing that seems to always be true is they can't milk the same goat for too long, and eventually those headlines have to shift. And so, and I want to point out that while all this torturous behavior around Australia, in my Tarot Tories work, Australia corresponds with the season we just left. So it has a lot to do with, on the global map, it corresponds with the Hanged Man and the Death card. And we officially have left that quadrant of the global map. So maybe some of the pressure will shift. And so right now we've crossed into what essentially is like East Africa and Morocco is the Temperance card.
I think they got buffaloes there.
They do.
What makes me, can I just say something that popped into my head about Okay, so let's just back up for a second. Gabriel's got a very interesting thesis. I don't know if you originated this or you just put the tarot cards on the Mercator projection world map. So this is some original synchromysticism, but
Yeah.
laying out the tarot cards in the wheel of the year of the zodiac of the major arcana on both the US map, you could probably do it on any smaller geographical region too, and you'd find
Yeah.
correspondences because it's like it's nested systems of
Yeah.
bodies or toruses. But what we've
Yep.
got whenever we put the tarot cards in the proper circle spiral on the classic rectangular Mercator projection is that Hanged Man / Scorpio fit into Australia. And
Mhm.
other than the fact that you always take Australia first in a good risk opening game, and this is chess. I've noticed that, and other people have pointed this out too, there's so much scorpionic energy
Yeah.
with the democratic governments of what we consider the Western nations.
Yeah.
And even to the point of we just recently had, the November selections for 2021, and that takes place firmly
Yeah.
in Scorpio season. So
Yeah.
it could be like they are the model for what other similar government structures are heading towards, and they do it first because they're in that part of the territories. But probably a better way to look at it, just for to cover our own self and not make assumptions as true that we can't prove, is just to say that synchromysticism. So like drawing tarot cards for yourself, that you're getting a message out of the way that you're laying out a spread, and whether or not any masters out there ever like set up the countries to match these tarot cards is probably not the case. It's just that there's a lot of collective consciousness energy in
Yeah.
the rectangular shaped Mercator projection map.
Yeah.
And consciousness
Yeah.
takes an archetypal structure. When bodies are formed in this reality, they have to adhere to this progression that we call the major arcana in symbolism.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they don't operate correctly. So it's the same reason why a lot of the old temples that were so magical were built with proportions considering symbolic associations to the human body.
Yeah.
The very same reason. So all we're doing is just like, or what Gabriel's doing is just finding a way to see how to map these big psychic egregores like the world map to the archetypal structure and order that our bodies and that the universe that we're in corresponds with.
Yeah.
Yep. And I remember you guys have pulled the Lover's card a couple times in the past couple weeks. You've been flashing it. You flashed it in a couple shows, right?
Yeah. That's our card.
That's cool.
I just
Yeah.
pulled this out of the middle of the deck since we were talking about it. There we go. There's the death card.
Yep, the Flower Rider. So Temperance has correspondence to that Lovers. It's 180 degrees
Mm-hmm.
from it. And what else, Chance? I've been thinking about that number 14 and how. So you mentioned it already that we have the 14 phalanges, the 14 pads on our hands.
Yeah.
And I think that's beautiful because also in Sagittarius is the Magician card.
Mm.
And the Magician is holding up one hand. He's got his hand on his wand, and he's lifting it up.
Yeah.
And so he's one hand above. I see it on the internal, a little more central to the arcs. And then Temperance comes later in the progression, and she is technically, because of the 14, she's the other hand.
Ah.
So she is like numerically encoded, yes, to represent the hand, because even 1 + 4 gives you a 5.
Yeah.
However, so many ways to look at this. So she's like the mathematical, the matriarchal goddess reflection of that. And the Magician, he's the, kind of like Adam, the masculine. He's erect. He's number one. He's holding up the single phallus. And this goes back to the idea that Thoth was married to Ma'at. Nice. Yeah.
Nice.
And so the magician is much like Thoth, and Thoth is always holding the stylist, his implement, and then and layered and encoded, and I will say beneath him, but she's above. She's also outside of him. She's kind of above him. He might be underneath, but however you want to see it, is the mathematical reflection of things, and that's the part I always point out when Neo goes through apotheosis and he sees the numeric codes on the wall, and he realizes Panta Eurythmos, everything is math. And now he can see the divine feminine. He has perfect sight. And and I love that, much like your painting that you brought out, Chance, with that one hand holding up the word no. That's Neo's first word is no.
Yeah, that's the massive. That is temperance, right?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Yeah, and temperance is like only one hand, not two hands. Not too much, like keeping it 50-50, so to say.
Yeah, that's what in the one-dimensional human that is being created in this great transhuman reset. It's about taking away the word no. You don't know that you can say no. It's a big, that's the big spell.
I think Gabriel said that, I believe it was you that said that no is the original N word.
Yeah. Yep. Yes.
Yeah, I call it the lost word.
Uh-huh. It is, man. It's so powerful.
Now I want to pull up that piece of art, so I'll look for that. I think I showed that was on weaving. Did I show that piece of art?
I think so, yep.
I don't show my art enough on my own show, so we'll do that when I find it. Melissa says, also funny how 5 divided in half is 2.5 and 2 plus 5 equals 7, which is half of 14. Math is always fun. Encourage people to keep thinking mathematically. That's my at.
Yeah. I had a fun thought this week. Can you bring up the temperance card again? The image of it?
Oh, sure. This was a really good share from Alan in our Telegram group. Just give me a second. Because it also showed an older version of the card, which I find very interesting how it has the lion and the eagle, the Scorpio being the eagle here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And the lion being the strength card, because the lion strength also could be known as lust. It's just like that full blast heat of like, yes, you could say. And then the eagle in the Scorpio, which is purity, which has everything to do with temperance also, which is why, like, it comes before in the, like, letting die which needs to go type of thing. It comes before temperance in the major arcana order.
Yeah.
Like the purity requires a higher perspective. That's why eagle fits for Scorpio, even possibly more than a scorpion. Like, I would really prefer if the Aquila eagle that used to be how that sign was conceptualized made a comeback.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Aquila is in the minor decan here, too.
The minor decan?
It's a minor decan of Sagittarius, I think. Or maybe it might be in Capricorn.
You mean the constellation itself?
Yeah, Aquila. Yeah. So I've been thinking about, wouldn't it be cool if the watt? Oh, there it is.
Yeah, that's what you're talking about. This is one of my drawings.
Yeah. I like that a lot. Dang.
I got posters.
It's kind of got a Kali Ma thing with that tongue sticking out.
Is it a tongue, or is it like maybe it's a tongue, maybe it's not? I don't even know if it's a tongue, honestly.
It could be a hanged man. Could be eating a hanged man.
Could be like a weird beard, like Jim beard. red soul patch. I don't know. But there it is. I drew that. I get down with markers. Tonight, I will finish a project I started in August. And then I'm gonna
Oh, sweet.
maybe start something new during Jim's flow state, which I'm really looking forward to. I hope to see a lot of people there. And I've got a
Yeah, man.
call in from Gordy.
Oh,
Hey.
Thoth Mark says, now you're getting into some of the information I presented on my Ophiuchus and Scorpio video.
mm,
And yeah, I've definitely been fascinated with that serpent, eagle, those two constellations being in what we now associate with the scorpion, because it really is like higher mind controlling or tempering the animal pleasures, animal senses, which then paradoxically actually makes the animal body feel more pleasurable. It feels better in the body with temperance. But yeah, okay, let's hear this. Gordy left us a quickie.
Boys! I'm kind of leaning towards that we, as a collective men of this community, need to do a collective haka of the natives in that part of the world.
Yeah.
And might send them some good magic.
Yeah.
And what's a haka, Buffalo?
Haka is, I believe, what the native people of New Zealand do. It's part of their, it's like a divine masculine dance, but it's scary as fuck if you're on a warrior on the other side. One of our close friends that they're still in California. His name is Dwayne. He's an awesome guy from New Zealand originally. He is like, a native New Zealander, and he talks about how in battle they were told that the haka would just strike fear into their enemies, and they do this masculine dance bringing forth their masculine power, and then a lot of times they will just cause their faces to just go, and they just try and make it that Kali kind of destroyer frightening look. It's beautiful.
Oh yeah.
It's beautiful.
Oh yeah. The man dance. I tell you what. Good call, Gordy.
Mm-hmm. I think we should.
Yeah, so we're all gonna do this on a Zoom call with each other. Is that what
I'd
it
be
is?
down.
Will you
I'd be
set that
down.
up, Gordy? I'm totally in. Game for
We gotta
that.
learn the moves first. It's got to be a little coordinated.
Yep. And coming from the Capoeira perspective,
Yeah.
one thing that is highly valuable is preserving those cultural expressions.
Yeah.
And if they're making a grab on that region of the world, then we need to big up the old ways and do whatever we can to preserve it.
Yeah, and it vibrates through the land, says J-Lo.
Yeah.
Nice.
You know
Nice.
what? It's because we are the land. We're literally the land. Some people say they couldn't hear Gordy on the call. Sorry about that. I think if you do call in, just try to speak up real loud, because I'll check on my side if there's something I could do better to make it louder. But I'm a self-taught amateur over here. And as far as I can tell, Telegram's at the same volume as my speakers are, so I don't know what I can do about it. Anyway, production stuff aside, that's neither here nor there.
So, Buffalo, you still haven't shuffled that deck.
I know. I still haven't shuffled it yet. I don't know what I'm waiting for. I feel like it'll tell me when it's right.
Start shuffling. This is super embarrassing, but I need to run over to the restroom. Usually I can make it through, but I just drank kombucha soda and it just shot right through me. So you guys hold it down for me.
All right.
For sure. Should I just shuffle it now? What should I do?
Well, let's ask Chance if he's got any. He's actually the person. Yeah, I know you asked me when I was on your show. I had some ideas, but let's see what Chance has to add to it, because he's opened more decks than any of us probably.
I know. Every time you kept talking while we were having our conversation, and I just kept pulling up the cards and trying to understand what each card means. I'm so bad with like zodiacal symbolism. I'm so bad with it. And so I
Yeah.
feel like I'm the type of person that I need to read. I need to like watch a video. I watched your video, so I'm like, okay, I'm on my way there, but I'm not
Uh-huh.
quite there. And I feel there are some people that I'm being called to do, a pull for, and just to see what's kind of in store for them. Some people that we have in California, and for myself and for family.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm so uncomfortable with the responsibility of supplying the information to them.
Yeah, I hear you.
Well, like, what do you say about it, Gabriel, that your aunt told you your relationship to the cards?
Yes.
I think everyone could benefit from their relationship to the cards. Not all of us have to be like the divination guy for other people.
Yeah.
I kind of like it, but I mean, I've been into cards for since like 2013, maybe
Damn.
2014, probably 2014 to be accurate.
Mhm.
So like I didn't start offering it as a service until largely this year. I mean, I did some of it here and there, but mostly just for myself or for friends. So there may come a day where you're called to do that. I don't know what you guys were just talking about while I visited the boys' room, but I just came in like, I got things to say.
Yeah. Buffalo was wondering about what's a good way to honor the cards before you shuffle them for the first time.
Oh, I got something for that. And it's really just about making you feel like you're doing something right. The cards are an inanimate object, so you're the one that's animating them. But what I sometimes do, and I heard this from Joel Raffiti, the Terrascopes guy. I did a Terrascope session with him, and at the end, he pulled the card for me on a question, and oh man, it was the hard answer. But it was the
oh man,
it was hard, but man, it was like basically like, you're right, Chance, the life change that you're even wondering about, you need to make the change, and that's why you're even asking the question. But gosh, is a romance related card, and I drew or he drew for me the Empress reversed, and I was like, okay, yep. That's a very direct answer. Very direct answer. But what he does before is he asks the person their full name and date of birth, or if he already knows it, he states that, and he says, we're asking the universal oracle for the answer to such and such as question, born on this date. So really dialing in the unique vibrational frequency of the person as much as possible. And you could do like part of that or that whole thing.
Okay.
And to just, that could be your way of like, this is now opening the space, and now this is really happening,
Yeah.
So just say, I'm asking the universal oracle, or ask higher self, or ask, the life force energy of all creation, or great mystery. Call it what you will, but just, that's a good way to do it as a example, but it's your way is the best way at the end of the day. No wrong answers.
I love all of that, Chance. That's great. That's a good handoff. So,
Yeah.
what I was thinking about is the fact that, so it's kind of cool that we're in the Temperance card and having this conversation.
Yeah.
Big time. And so I think some of my next videos are going to be talking about the right brain versus the left brain. And I have two books that I've read, and I always cite them simultaneously because the information from one bleeds into the other, and I'm not sure which one I'm quoting here or getting into, but the two books are Chalice and the Blade, and Alphabet versus the Goddess.
Ooh.
Yes, these are such good books. They're such good books, and there's so much to learn, like a lifetime of learning from just those little doorways. But what I'm getting at is that right now your deck is in order.
Yeah.
And everybody should take some time and read the 9 definitions of the word order from an old dictionary. It means like the Brotherhood, like the Knights Templar
Yeah.
kind of order. It also means public silence, as in when the judge is slamming his hexen hammer, Malleus Maleficarum, he's telling you, shut the fuck up, public. And if you listen to him, then by default you're saying, I'm in the public. So the best thing to do is speak out right away afterwards and say, I am not public. Let it be known that your orders do not apply to me. But anyways, I'm getting off track. It also means any of the 9 heavenly realms. Is that it, Chance? You got it pulled up, huh? Let me see if I can see it.
There's so many definitions to the word order. I
Yes.
don't know. This is like one of the bigger pages on here. Pretty
Wow.
huge.
It is really something to just wrap your head around, all the implications of that one word. And this right here is kind of what I'm getting at. It's so good that we're doing this. So right now your cards are in order.
Yeah.
Which means the meaning is predictable. And if you were a card counter, you could almost pull the exact card you intend to, but as soon as you shuffle them, they go out of order.
Yeah.
And this is, I believe, going from the left brain, where everything is orderly. Most of us are right-handed and we want things to be in the right order.
Yeah.
Well, as soon as you shuffle them, the cards go into the other dimension.
Yeah.
And that is your right brain.
They become Schrodinger's deck. Is it alive
Bingo.
or dead?
Bingo, you got it. And so, yeah, it is. It's a crucial moment because I think of it as crossing into, I'll just say your left brain. I don't like to associate gender with one side of the brain or the other, but in the occult, from the traditional orders of the Brotherhood, they would say when you shuffle them, they go into the divine feminine. And that has a lot to do with those 2 books that I was talking about. That masculine right brain dominance is all about spelling things in order. And if we can't explain how the tarot deck works to a person who's so left-brained, it's because they don't have enough right brain to understand.
Exactly.
Exactly. I'm
Another
glad
fun
that
thing
makes
to do
sense
is
to you
play
guys.
solitaire with your tarot deck to put it back in left-brained order and give your left brain a chance to look at it all, but in a way where it's methodically completing a task, which helps it take in the information that it's seeing.
Ooh,
I did that
that's
before the
badass.
Michael Wan episode. I played tarot solitaire. It's pretty fun, actually.
That's cool. Kind of bringing them back. Oh, that's really cool. Man, I'm still new to this. So like all these ideas are like, I need to do that. That's a great idea.
And the whole point of it was just for fun, but also like to what you're saying, it seems that maybe there's something to it that's useful.
Yeah.
I love that.
I like that balancing of the left and right brain and the masculine and feminine, because everybody has masculine and feminine. And me personally, I think, this probably isn't the first life I've lived here. I think we're all familiar with reincarnation, and who knows, we probably lived masculine and feminine lives. So I think that we're just striving for that balance. So I love that. I love that, Gabriel.
Yeah, in the mythology, humanity was not too gendered, and then apparently Zeus hit us with a lightning bolt and struck us down the middle.
Yeah. Yep. That's so true. And there comes the placenta. A couple of interesting points on that. So Sesta KV is the trust that is set up when you get that birth certificate, that BC birth certificate. And Sesta means basket. And if you look into it, even it's spelled like Sestui. It's kind of Italian. But if you just give it the Spanish translation, it's Sesta, which means basket. But it also means sister. It's, and...
Your sistership?
Your sistership. Yeah. I think it has to do with Noah. When Noah was put in a basket
Yeah.
sent downstream, and he lost his birthright. Well, I think the maiden who put him in that basket might have been somebody's sister from the plot line.
Yeah.
So the cesta and basket and birthright, it's all making sense. You put the placenta on every story, and you're just like, uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
One thing that's come to me about placenta today, actually, was that everything that's created in the realm has its opposite innately existing. It must. So in that sense, you know, your divine guardian or your holy guardian angel, your spiritual twin, your spiritual opposite, your anima, your animus, it has to exist. And if life is this fractal of toroidal fields nested within each other, larger and smaller, up the scale of dimensions infinitely, and that really you never left the matrix, because the matrix is a womb and everything is wombs, and when you die you just jump out another Vesica Pisces vagina portal into another life. That means that even right now, while we're in this realm walking around and we're like, well, look, we're grown-up men, and a spiritual dimension of scale beyond what we can perceive right now, we're in a womb with our placenta right now. We never left it. And so it's just the storyline that has a defined beginning and end, which is your birth date, leaving out completely the time that you were in the womb as being a part of who you are, leaving out that your origin point is undefined, which is why it's infinite or godly. Your origin is godly. Nobody knows exactly when the conception was. Even if you know the day, you still don't know the moment.
Right.
So all of the storylines that have a beginning and end are fiction, in that they're conceptual. And they're a con if you let them be used that way. They have their value. It's obviously important the moment that you first popped into this realm and entered the new world. There's divinatory value to that. And it's a reflection of your uniqueness. But to believe that that's your alpha point and that your death is the omega point is a false reality that we need to check. We never started and we never ended, in truth, what we really are. And we never left our twin or our holy guardian angel. We're still in that amniotic sac with it right now. And it's just amnesia that let us forget that. And so we can always connect to it. That's why I think, like, just knowing that you have this connection, it's like, don't be scared that you don't know what happened to placenta. Just reconnect with it. Just set the intention. If you want to do a ceremony for it, do a ceremony for it. But knowing's half the battle. Big time.
Man. Yep.
Okay, that was my vibrant for the night.
I'm digging it, brother. Digging it. So I was thinking about the Temperance card has that arrow pointing up, and I read up on it. In one interpretation that I came across was the square represents the earthly mundane realm, and the triangle represents being a humanity. But I kind of wonder if the arrow pointing up is kind of makes the water seem like it's flowing in reverse, not down into the bottom cup, but magically being lifted into the top cup, which is kind of cool, because that kind of lends to my idea that our daemon ages in reverse, and the time on the other side is coming at us from a reverse direction from the future. Venus rotates in the opposite direction, so the sun rises in the west in Venus, and all these things probably are related to some degree. But yeah, this is a great, and we've been talking about temperance since last week, so it's like super significant that this is episode number 14, right on time. Buffalo's got a deck he's never shuffled.
Let's come on, draw temperance. It's on. The pressure's on. Draw the 14 card. Oh man,
I feel like my deck doesn't even have temperance.
You have an equivalent. What you're saying about the water going up, I think is cool, because we have to balance the idea of gravity or density or sinking. What do we got? Does it say alchemy? That's temperance. Did you just draw
Alchemy.
that randomly, or did you look for it?
I look for it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
You should have played it off like you just pulled it out, hot hands. But
Oh, man.
now I
I
trust
can't
you
play it
more.
off.
Yeah. So anyway, like we balance out the idea of gravity, density, sinking with levity. Like that's what's left out of this whole entropic universe model, is that actually there's such a thing as harmony and levity, and that when two notes come together that are in the right key, that are keys for each other, there's a third overtone.
Yeah.
Energy is seemingly pulled out of the ether.
Yeah.
That is about resonance. So that's maybe the idea of temperance, is that if you properly temper your will and your what your perspective is looking at, then you'll see that not only is everything always falling apart, but also everything is always coming together at the same time. And so, you could look at the waters flying up the cup too. But can we make that big, the alchemy card that you just showed? I think it looks like that, Gabriel. I think you're right. I think it looks that way for sure. That the water's going up, not down.
Yeah.
Let's make Buffalo.
And on the record for tonight,
a more challenging deck. And you weren't audible. Sorry, buddy. I took us off screen.
Oh, it's all good. Am I good?
Yeah, you're good now.
Oh, I got a little echo on my
What was
side.
the other book you mentioned? Alphabet versus the Goddess and what?
Chalice and the Blade.
Typing that in the Rokfin chat. Someone wanted to know. There you go.
I got a little echo. I'm going to jump out and come back.
Okay, we're about to wrap up too.
All right. Well, in that case, much love, Buffalo. Much love, everybody.
Thanks for hanging out with us, Gabe. Always welcome to come back. You're the man.
Much love, everybody. Yeah, looking forward to tonight. Hope I see everybody there.
Flow state. Yep, I got a voicemail from Jim about flow state. So I'm going to play that. It's about a minute.
Speaking of the brain and the right and left side, I've got a new project I'm starting tonight called Flow State.
Nice.
When you're listening to a story or a narrative, the left-hand side of your brain is active. And when you're creating, drawing, sculpting, painting, knitting something, the right side of your brain is active. And when both hemispheres of your brain are active at the same time, you achieve flow state. So that's what this project is. I'm encouraging everybody at home to join me and make something artistic and listen to me and other people reading bits of maybe their favorite literature or books that seem interesting. It should be fun. That's tonight on the Weaving Spiders Welcome channel in 2 hours at 8 o'clock Pacific time. Thank you very much.
Hey, thanks for the plug there, Jim. I will link the Weaving Spiders Welcome YouTube channel for anyone that doesn't have it. There.
I love Weaving Spiders. It was great to join you guys last week.
Yeah, that was a great one. Episode 56. Yeah, so I'm posting this Weaving Spiders Welcome YouTube channel. There it went. And let's maybe start wrapping this thing up. I mean, no rush. Is there any thoughts left dangling chads there on your end, Buffalo?
No, I think when I get my deck shuffled, I'll share my first read on our Telegram. And you did mention Awaken Slaves earlier. And I think what I want to do with that show is bring the Divine Masculine back, because we need it, man. We're off course big time. We need to protect.
I didn't mention that that's actually a whole new thing you're starting. You want to talk about that more?
Yeah, so Legs is going to do Vacation Forever. That's her show with Izzy, our pup, and she's going to talk more about like wildlife and things like that that are relevant to her. And my show, Awaken Slaves, is will probably be streaming on Rokfin only. And I just want to focus on bringing that divine masculine back because I feel like a lot of our examples that we got growing up weren't really good examples and we weren't really given the actual roadmap to being men. We have kind of like a stunted adolescence in our generation, and one of the things that really clicked with me is actually Cheney brought it up, and in our episode with Cheney, she talks about how she just imagines all the women collectively around the sacred fire doing their dance, doing their spiritual work, and just men like us on the outer ring protecting them and making sure that the process takes place and the connection takes place. And so I feel that I really vibed with what she had to say. So I want to bring that back and kind of reconnect our manliness, do the haka, maybe we can include that, Gordy, and just kind of get collabs from all the men in our community. I think it'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, man, I feel that. Hardest thing I think that divine masculine is finally maybe learning on the big collective is that protect don't mean control.
Exactly.
Because that's where the whole impetus to control came from, was like, we're just trying to keep you safe. We're trying to make sure no bandits get you, but everything's the will of the cosmos, or the great mystery, the spirit of creative intelligence and life force energy. So not that we shouldn't play the role of protector, but that doesn't mean we got to control what comes through or what the feminine can do. So the other thing about Jim's flow state, though, if you ever have trouble doing your chores, listen to podcasts while you fold your laundry and while you do your dishes if you need to, because that's like really accurate, that giving your right brain something to take in and your left brain some busy work to do, it is major flow state kicker. Super good. But that sounds awesome. Let me also link your stuff it's in the show descriptions, but we link False Reality Check website and Rokfin in our live chats while we kind of wind our way down, and you can go find out how Legs' magical Lindsay stuff is going.
I'm gonna pop in right while she's meditating.
Are you okay? I'm just checking on you. Are you safe?
I'm protecting you.
Man, yeah, it's super fun that we got to hang out. Definitely, anytime you want to call in and join us on a Vibrant, sometimes just do so. Definitely same goes for Legs.
For sure.
Thanks everyone for listening tonight. We got really good things coming up. Next InnerVerse episode, because I'm sure it'll happen. I'll go ahead and announce it. Mark from My Family Thinks I'm Crazy coming on InnerVerse. Gonna talk Giants and Tartaria. Gonna be a good time, so watch out for that. And yeah, we'll catch you all later. I guess we're gonna wrap it up. Much love.
Thanks, Chance.